Lawmakers in California recently approved legislation that aims to shield election officials from threats and harassment, becoming the latest state to attempt to confront the wave of abuse against election workers that began in the aftermath of the 2020 election. The new legislation would give election workers the option to have their addresses and other personal information redacted from government records. In addition, it amends the long-standing provision of California law that required the public posting of full names of precinct board members. Under the measure, only the party affiliations of those precinct officials must be publicly available. It awaits the signature of Governor Gavin Newsom, who is a Democrat. This does bring us to our topic of the day. Do you think passing new laws will stop the harassment of poll workers? We would love to hear from you. Voting is easy. Just head over to kyma.com/polls. Please let us know what you think. You can also vote on our homepage. We will share some of your comments and have the final tally right here tonight at 10. The campaign for Brawley City Council is heating up with 2 seats ready to be taken up. There are 5 candidates going head-to-head. Luke Hamby and Gilbert Robillard, Joseph Galvin, Ronald Gray, and John Grass are all candidates for City Council. Grass and Gray say a lot is at stake in the city of Brawley.
And Brawley can be great. Brawley can be better than El Centro. Brawley can be better than Imperial, but we need to first hone in on us, the residents. I'm a resident first and foremost.
At the onset of some new developments moving into the area, particularly with the lithium mining and the geothermal expansions, we're already starting to see a growth in our population.
The 3 other candidates also say they're running to improve the quality of life in Brawley. 13 on your side's Wiley Jahari speaks to all of these candidates, and we'll have more for you right here tonight at 6. Stay informed about the upcoming election by downloading the KYMA app, available in your app store. Honoring those impacted by 9/11 continues today as a local school paid tribute to first responders and victims this morning. San Luis High School and Woodman Life personnel unveiled a plaque and a flagpole in remembrance of the heroes and the many who lost their lives on September 11th.
It's important that we never forget, and then maybe it'll happen again, but we'd be more alert and more aware of it, but we'll never forget this date and everybody that went through it.
Today's ceremony also honored members of the military, past and present.
Hey everybody, let's go ahead and switch gears, talk about our local weather conditions as you get a look at our RV World Yuma Skycam overlooking 4th Avenue. At the moment, you can notice a little bit of shake on the Skycam, representing some of the winds that are making their way through the area. And as far as our sky conditions go today in the city of Yuma, we've noticed some partly cloudy skies, not as much cloud cover as we noticed yesterday. However, these clouds in general is something you can expect to disappear as we go throughout the rest of the week. Now, coming up a little later on in your First Alert forecast, I'll let you know how we could be in for a break from these triple digits. Looking at the 7-day forecast, we could be in for a little bit of a break from those. And we could have some breezy days ahead as well, something to look forward to there. And we have a wonderful viewer weather photo. It's all coming up just a little later on.
And coming up next on 13 on your side, the man accused of murdering a Las Vegas journalist back in court today. Plus, the man who rose to fame during the Clinton scandal dies. More when we return.
Breathe a little easier with 13 on your side's Air Quality Index. See what you should prepare for each day, every day on our local newscasts. Imperial County Air Quality Index, sponsored by Imperial County Air Pollution Control District.
Nick Bolton here with the latest from Bell & Howell. We call them TAC glasses. Inspired by the sunglasses worn by our heroes in uniform, TAC glasses block blinding glare so well, invisible objects suddenly become visible. Enhance colors to give you vision as sharp as an eagle's and survive even the harshest conditions. Look, ordinary sunglasses just make things darker, which could be deadly in a tactical situation. TAC glasses improve optical clarity so you can see clearly, even in low light. If you've never seen how this light filtering technology works, check this out. Nothing to see, right? But look again as we hold up our TAC glasses. A colorful American eagle is revealed. Amazing!
Act now to get your TAC glasses for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. So don't delay. Order yours today.
to-order call 1-800-287-1705. Again, that's 1-800-287-1705 or order online at trytacglasses.com.
It's back.
All right, guys, let's go. We got to get this, okay?
Friday
Night Lights. It's bigger and better than ever.
That's all the highlights,
all the emotion,
all plays, and all the score.
every Friday night at 10:15.
So she said to you, you make money, you kick back some to me.
Their business arrangement hit close to home.
Did you have Mr. Mars Gardner come and do work at your house?
Yes. She called me up and said, by the way, you are going to take care of this, aren't you?
So he severed their connection permanently.
You advised her boss that she was looking for kickbacks.
That really ticked me off.
Next, Judge Judy.
Welcome back, everyone. An elected official in Clark County, Nevada, who allegedly murdered a local reporter appeared in court Tuesday, but his hearing was continued. Public Administrator Rob Tellez is accused of fatally stabbing Las Vegas Review-Journal investigative reporter Jeff German outside German's home on September 2nd. Police say the 69-year-old had been stabbed multiple times. DNA found under German's fingernails as well as surveillance footage helped link Tellez to the crime. Police say Tellez was waiting for German and the murder was deliberate and premeditated. Tellez is facing a charge of murder with a deadly weapon with additional penalties due to the victim's age. He is due back in court September 20th, where he's expected to be formally charged. He faces possible life behind bars.
This is an important case. It's a serious case for obvious reasons. So investigations don't stop once a person is arrested. Information comes forward to the police. They continue to investigate, and they're going to look at all angles of this case because that's what we would do in any important case like this.
Kenneth Winston Starr, the former U.S. Solicitor General who gained worldwide fame in the 1990s as the independent counsel that investigated President Bill Clinton during a series of political scandals, has died after complications from surgery, according to a statement from his family. Starr was a member of former President Donald Trump's defense team during Trump's first impeachment, also served as president of Baylor University from 2010 to 2016. Starr is survived by his wife, Alice, whom he married in 1970, and 3 children. He was 76 years old. And moving on, the ban on abortions starting a 15 weeks nationwide. Senator Lindsey Graham introduced a bill Tuesday that would mark the most significant abortion proposal by a Republican in Congress since Roe v. Wade was overturned.
I think we should have a law at the federal level that would say after 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother, and that should be where America's at.
Now, Senate Democrats immediately pushed back, but a number of Senate Republicans were also slow to embrace Graham's legislation, and it's unclear if they'd put the bill on the Senate floor if they do win back the chamber this fall. As for the House Republicans, they also plan on introducing a bill banning abortions at 15 weeks. Although getting it to the floor is also up in the air, abortion is viewed as a big issue for the upcoming midterm elections. The Justice Department is turning up the heat on former President Donald Trump. Amy Kiley has the latest on 2 of its investigations that involve him.
They're now encompassing individuals closer and closer to the president to learn more and more about what the president knew and when he knew it.
The Justice Department is taking major steps in 2 investigations into former President Donald Trump. Multiple sources familiar with the matter confirm it recently subpoenaed more than 30 of his associates. Among them are Trump's one-time political director, deputy chief of staff, and campaign manager. And the subpoenas go beyond the Capitol riot. They also seek information about Trump's campaign financing and the fake elector scheme.
They work their way up to the top of the pyramid.
A second DOJ investigation involves classified documents seized from Trump's Florida home. The DOJ filed court papers agreeing to one of Trump's picks for a special master to filter out potentially privileged information. Reagan appointee Raymond Dearie was a federal judge and is now a senior circuit court judge.
He's been a well-respected judge for decades, and he served on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court.
The Justice Department has requested continued access to the documents in that case. Trump insists some of them are personal, so the DOJ says it just wants to see the classified ones to assess any risks to national security.
The Justice Department could have taken a sledgehammer to this judge's prior ruling. Instead, the Justice Department shrewdly took a scalpel to that order.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A dry and more comfortable week ahead for the desert Southwest. But what else do you need to watch out for? We'll tell you straight ahead in your First Alert forecast.
At Kokopah Resort, we know how to adventure better. Every Friday and Saturday through September 24th, you could win your share of $5,000 in cash, rewards play, and exciting outdoor prizes. 8 adventurous winners will win each drawing day. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games with your rewards card. If you're not a member, just drop by the Kokopah Rewards Club and get your card. Membership is free. We love our loyals at Kokopah Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
The bladder control aisle. You won't shop here again. Your private business is your own. The constant struggle is over. Now there's a better way. It's HDIS. We home deliver bladder control products. We understand how you feel. For over 25 years, we've home delivered to many of the 20 million Americans who deal with incontinence. We offer all brands. We pay shipping and use plain, unmarked boxes. If we can help you or someone you care for, call for your free product sample pack and $45 in money-saving coupons. Our counselors will help you choose the right product. And unlike stores, we're always in stock. You'll get what you need. Satisfaction guaranteed. HDIS, the better way.
For your free sample pack with your free catalog, $45 in money-saving coupons, and free product samples, call 1-800-489-3026. That's 1-800-489-3026.
Do you love spending your time on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok?
KYMA.com, the #1 local website, has you covered on the web or on our app.
If you have experience with WordPress, love doing everything you can to get eyeballs on a post or story, then KYMA.com is looking for someone like you to be part of a team of digital experts focused on growth. To apply, go to KYMA.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We do have our very own Luis Lopez here to talk to us about the weather. But Luis, I just want to say we had some sprinkles yesterday, so there.
Yeah, we did. We had a little bit of activity here in the area, not as much as we were noticing during Tropical Storm Kay while that was making its way through the desert Southwest. But again, yeah, some isolated storms yesterday, although that's not something you can expect to continue as we go throughout the next few days. For now, let's go ahead and get a quick look at the RV World Yuma Skycam overlooking 4th Avenue. At the moment, you can see a little bit of shake on the Skycam as we're dealing with some pretty calm winds overall right now. And as far as our sky conditions go, we were noticing some partly cloudy skies in the Yuma area. Not as much cloud cover as we were noticing yesterday. And again, you can expect those clouds to die down to some clearer conditions as we go throughout the rest of the week. Let's take a look now at our satellite and radar to show you which activity we've been tracking throughout the day. And as you can see, really not much going on today aside from some cloud cover. You can notice a couple small rain cells making their way through the area, but overall another pretty dry day with, again, just some part cloud cover. I'll look now at our futurecast to show you where some moisture has been making its way across the country throughout our day today. And as you can see, a lot of that rain is pushing up northeast, so we're not expected to see any moisture for quite some time. I'll look now at our current wind speed. You can see that we're dealing with overall calm conditions with the exception of Salton City sitting at 18 miles per hour. And as you get a look at our future winds, you can see that Salton City and Ocotillo will really be the only gusty areas as we go throughout our day on Wednesday. A look now at our air quality index presented to us by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District. And as you can see here, always a welcome sight when most of the cities in the valley are at good air quality. However, our apologies for Mexicali as we still are not receiving any rating for that area, as we haven't been for quite some time now. A look now at our current temperatures. We begin in the Imperial Valley. El Centro just barely avoiding those triple digits at 99 degrees. Holtville and Imperial, meanwhile, sitting at 95. And as we jump across the state and county line into Yuma County, you can see those temperatures very similar as we sit at 96 for both Yuma and the foothills. A look now at today's viewer weather photo. This coming to us from Anna Borges. A great shot of an Imperial County sunset. This one's really cool. Likely coming after some of the storm activity we were experiencing recently. You've got some pretty heavy cloud cover on one side of the sky, just partly cloudy skies on the other, and a little bit of silhouette action with the skyline going on down at the bottom. So Anna, thank you so much for sending this in. And if you have a photo that you'd like to share with us, all you have to do to get it on over is take out your phone. You can open your camera app. Go ahead and scan that QR code right there. That's going to take you to our homepage where you can upload some of your very own photos, and hopefully we'll get them featured right here on the newscast. Let's go ahead and get a look now at our MetroCast to help you plan out the rest of your evening. In just a few hours, around 7 p.m., you'll continue to notice these partly cloudy skies with 88-degree temperatures. As we go deeper into the night at midnight, you'll notice 81-degree temps with a few clouds still remaining in the sky. And as you wake up for your commute tomorrow morning, 77 degrees with continued clear skies, which could be a trend going throughout the rest of the week. Speaking of the rest of the week, let's go ahead and get a look now at our 7-day forecast. As you can see, we're expecting these clear conditions to last as we go throughout the next 7 days or so. One of the more welcome sights on the forecast here, you can see that there's no triple-digit temps. Always very good to see that. You can see the highest we'll be getting will be at 98 degrees. That we can expect for the weekend. One thing you may have to look out for in the Yuma area, however, could be some breezy conditions, and they're not just expected on Sunday. They could be popping up as we go throughout the rest of the week, really exceeding no more than around 20 miles per hour, so definitely something to be aware of there. Also, our apologies for that Tuesday temperature. I believe that's supposed to be another 93-degree day. Definitely not 70, as much as I wish we could be getting that during the day. We could be in store for that very soon here in the desert Southwest, but overall, no. We're expected to see another day around the 90s. A look now at our 7-day forecast for the Imperial Valley, where you can see it's just about more of the same, and that reading on Tuesday is actually correct, about 90 degrees, which is what you can expect for most of this week. Your hottest day in the Imperial Valley coming at 99 degrees with a gusty day expected for Sunday, but overall, a lot of good temperatures to look forward to. If you're not a fan of some of those triple-digit conditions, obviously hot will be hot when we're still in that 90-degree range, but you can see even with those evening lows, pretty indicative of a overall cool down here in the desert Southwest.
Next on 13 on your side, the first monkeypox-related death in California. Stay with us.
Attention. My name is Regina Haywood, and I want members of the service to start living near where they work.
You mean in East New York?
I'll do it.
Welcome to the city.
Together, we are going to stem violence in East New York.
Meeting in the community room tomorrow night at 7:30. You gonna be there?
Hell no.
If you do your job, I got your backs.
Welcome to East New York.
They're not sorta big. They're torta big. They're not sorta tasty. They're torta tasty. Introducing Del Taco's new Epic Tortas. 3 hot and savory Mexican-style sandwiches on a big, freshly toasted 7-inch roll. Try crispy chicken with house-made guacamole, chicken BLT, or carne asada with queso. New Epic Tortas. Bigger, toastier, epicer. Say hello to Del Taco Bettermex. And say hello to free Del Taco delivery in the app every weekend in September.
Imagine a knife taking this much abuse and didn't need sharpening. Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives. They're coated with granite stone non-stick and made of stainless steel, one of the hardest substances on earth. Now everyone can chop, slice, and dice just like a pro. The Easy Grip rubberized handles deliver incredible control and accuracy to chop salads in seconds and cut frozen solid meat with ease and get razor-thin slices every time. The non-stick surface means food slides right off and they're dishwasher safe. Plus, they'll stay razor sharp guaranteed. A complete set of chef knives can cost you hundreds, but today you can get this professional 6-piece set of NutriBlades for just $29.95. Order right now and we'll even ship them to you free. Now get your own NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone. The last knives you'll ever buy.
Call 1-800-523-8431 or go to buyNutriBlade.com.
Welcome back, everyone. The first death from monkeypox has been confirmed in the United States. While deaths from the virus are extremely rare, officials are sending out a warning, especially to those who are severely immunocompromised. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on what we know about the person who died and what those with weak immune systems should do if they suspect they have been infected.
In the U.S. this year, there have been around 22,000 cases of probable or confirmed monkeypox. On Monday, the CDC confirmed the first death from the virus, a Los Angeles resident with a severely weakened immune system who had been hospitalized. Federal health officials say they're working to get clear messaging out.
That really means being frank, really focusing on the exposures and really working very intentionally to not generate stigma as we increase awareness of monkeypox across the country.
Deaths from monkeypox are extremely rare, but more likely among babies, pregnant women, and people with weakened immune systems, such as from HIV. In a release, the Los Angeles Department of Public Health says persons severely immunocompromised who suspect they have monkeypox are encouraged to seek medical care and treatment early and remain under the care of a provider during their illness. In the battle against monkeypox, federal health officials say they're working to make testing more accessible and increasing production of the monkeypox vaccine.
We're really seeing great uptake across the country, which means that what vaccine we do have, we're able to extend.
While monkeypox cases appear to be leveling off, health officials say that shouldn't lead to complacency. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A person in Harris County, Texas, who had monkeypox died last month, but the virus's role in that death has not been confirmed just yet. And grocery prices are up, up, up. Will it ever end? We'll have that and more after the break.
For the rest of the world, we're a very unique gem, and they really enjoy coming down here to film. So
Imperial Valley.
They had begun filming in Korea the beginning of the shoot, and so they ended it in El Centro.
Home to a budding film industry.
We premiered at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood.
From where American Sniper was filmed in El Centro.
While the industry continues to increase projects in our backyard, local films.
Southwest Turf and Rock, Yuma's only artificial grass experts and your premier supplier of landscape products. We have the best selection of high-quality artificial grass, decorative rock, boulders, pavers. Come see our beautiful outdoor showroom and let our friendly product experts help you choose the perfect products for your project. Do we rock? You bet your sweetgrass. Southwest Turf and Rock, 4200 East 32nd Street in Yuma.
You rip and tear your old statements and bills, but thieves use this information to steal your identity. Don't be a victim. Get the ID Police, the new ink roller that encrypts all your old documents. So before you throw it out, just roll it on, and your information is gone, both on the front and through the back. Even if the paper is held up to the light, even your medical information is safe with the ID Police. So block it out before you throw it out. Order now and get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 and get free shipping too. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now to get your ID Police for as low as $9.99 with free shipping. Order now.
Call 1-800-903-8817. That's 1-800-903-8817 or visit getidpolice.com. So call 1-800-903-8817 now.
Welcome back, everyone. If prices at the grocery store are making you lose your appetite, you're not alone. Food prices shot up 11.4% over the past year, the biggest increase since 1979. The Bureau of Labor Statistics laid out the new numbers this week, showing everything from eggs and flour to milk and meat cost more now. Economists say it's not just because of inflation, which is actually slowing down. Food prices are affected by global events like the war in Ukraine, which affects the cost of wheat and other things we buy. Then you've also got natural disasters to consider, like droughts that have killed crops and the avian flu, which has hit the supply of eggs and turkey. Not to mention, it takes time for changes like decreases in ingredient prices to get to customers. Now, demand for food isn't flexible either. You can skimp on a new outfit or a vacation, but you really can't stop buying any food.
Automotive research company Kelley Blue Book says the average price Americans paid for a new vehicle in August hit a record high of $48,301. That's the 5th consecutive month car prices have risen to record highs. Strong demand and low inventories are driving the rise. Kelley Blue Book says the average price of a car is nearly 11% higher than a year ago. The Biden administration says it's in touch with freight railroads and their unions, urging them to come to a deal and prevent a strike by some 115,000 workers. A deadline to resolve a contract dispute is set for Friday. The head of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce says a national rail strike would be an economic disaster. It's estimated a work stoppage could cost the U.S. economy up to $2 billion a day. And Hard Rock International says it's spending more than $100 million to give raises to 10,000 workers who do not receive tips. The raises include an immediate increase to a minimum starting salary of $18 to $21 an hour. The gaming and hospitality company says the initiative is intended to help employees deal with high inflation and reduce employee turnover. The raises apply to 95 job classifications, including cooks, housekeepers, front desk clerks, security workers, and cashiers. That is your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
When you're flying a jet in combat, you learn to make some pretty quick decisions. So when I got to the Senate, I didn't waste any time. I stood up to Big Pharma, ending decades of broken promises to lower prescription drug costs, capping out-of-pocket expenses for seniors, and investing in Arizona manufacturing and better paying jobs. I did what I said I'd do because Arizona families can't afford Congress wasting any more time.
I'm Mark Kelly, and I approve this message.
The new Miracle Blade World Class 2012 Professional Series is the best set of knives you'll ever own. The spectacular World Class 2012 Series, over a $300 value for just $39.95. But we're just getting started. We'll send you a complete second set of Miracle Blades for free. That's right, another entire set, a $300 value for free. Just pay shipping and processing. And we're still not done. If you're one of the first 500 callers, we'll send you 2 additional Miracle Blade world-class slicers. That's an additional $80 value, totally free. Miracle Blade World Class is also guaranteed for life. We'll replace any damaged knife at any time for any reason for free forever. Over $600 worth of knives for just one payment of $39.95. Don't miss this opportunity. Call right now or just log on to miracleblade.com.
You know, you don't really see too many new businesses opening.
In a time of shopping in PJs from bed, small businesses are struggling to attract customers.
They were able to get some of the bill because
13 on Your Side investigates the headaches of local business owners, how the city of El Centro and its businesses are combating decline, the surprising way you can help.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Only on 13 on Your Side, September 21st at 6 and 10 p.m.
Now on 13 on Your Side, it's cotton season throughout the desert Southwest. Plus, protection for election workers, how California plans to combat the ongoing issue. And the campaign for Brawley City Council is heating up. 13 on Your Side continues right now.
First at 4 continues now.
Thanks for staying with us on 13 on Your Side. I'm Marlette Youssef. In tonight's Homegrown Report, the cotton harvest is in full swing in both Yuma and Imperial County. Yuma County grows about 12,000 acres of cotton per year. The seed is planted in February and March and is being harvested now through mid-October. This morning, 6th-generation cotton farmer Job Ware says that cotton is what he knows.
It goes to the cotton gin, and from there it is hauled into the cotton gin, and then
As far as it going through the gin, it's separated. The seed and the lint are separated. You know, shirts, it's money, it's clothes, it's literally everything.
Ware says the cotton you see being harvested in Yuma is exported to make things like clothes, money, paper, oil, and many, many other things. And according to Visit Yuma, the ag industry in Yuma County brings more than $3 billion to the local economy each year. Now there's an opportunity for you to be a part of it. Arizona Outwork is hosting a job fair for over 10 agriculture companies. This is Arizona Outwork's second annual Ag Job Fair. It will be held at the San Luis Library on Wednesday, September 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Companies are hiring for general labor and other positions.
We actually have Greengate Fresh, which is part of the Barkley company. We also have Custom Ag Pack. We have Taylor Farms, which is going to be present, and Church Brothers, along with others.
If you can't make it to the job fair, you can still get hired for the vegetable season by reaching out to Arizona Outwork and getting connected with a potential employer. Now, lawmakers in California recently approved legislation that aims to shield election officials from threats and harassment, becoming the latest state to attempt to confront the wave of abuse against election workers that began in the aftermath of the 2020 election. The new legislation would give election workers the option to have their addresses and other personal information redacted from government records. In addition, it amends a long-standing provision of California law that required the public posting of full names of precinct board members. Under the measure, only the party affiliations of those precinct officials must be publicly available. It awaits the signature of Governor Gavin Newsom